Well, good morning. What are we? Day 4, Friday morning. About 60 k's out of Alice now on the Laverton, heading towards Hermigen, going across to Kings Canyon. Fresh, cold change. So I don't know if it cold changed at home or not, but really windy last night and gusty winds again today, but the wind's icy. So like I've got my wet weather coat over the top, trying to keep that windbreak out. So, which is good because heading into the desert, we didn't really want to deal with it being super hot like it has been. So anyway, just, I don't know, these McDonald's Rangers are just stunning. Like the cameras just don't do it justice, they don't capture it, but just have a look at this. Like, it's just amazing. I'm sure there's lots more of it. We're going to head down to Kings Canyon. So I think it's nearly all bitumen all the way. I think, or at least the first 170 k's or something is all bitumen. So just cruising and bit of worship music going. It's bopping along, just appreciating the magnificence of our fatherly creation. It's gorgeous. So anyway, touch base with you all later. Have a good day. Day 4, about 150 k's out of Alice now, out onto the dirt section heading towards Kings Canyon. So we thought we'd do a little bit of a wilderness hop. So yeah, just ducked off the road, jumped up onto this little mound here and just admiring the beauty of it. It's just gorgeous. I just love these red hills, these rocks faces, the colour of the earth out here, the bushes. But boy, is it windy today. It's got that real sideways blowing wind that just about knocks off the bike. Sometimes you get a big gust, but anyway, we're going to do a little bit of footage, a little bit of road footage here in a minute. Hopefully it picks it up nicely, and yeah, we'll touch base later on. So right now, I'm travelling across from Alice Springs. It's about 260 kilometres to Kings Canyon. It's only a short day today, because to be honest, the first 3 days were pretty big, and so I'm feeling a bit sore today. So I'm listening to my body. It's the second day in a row of big winds, and that starts to really add to the fatigue. Apart from that, I've never stopped into the canyon before, so I'd like to check it out. Unfortunately, I had no plans of making a movie. I never did any filming. Basically, I arrived about noon and set up camp. Then I went for a ride around checking out this amazing scenery. I just absolutely love the red mountains and the rocks of our beautiful inland part of Australia. So anyway, it's about a 1 kilometre walk from the parking bay to get into the canyon, so I've taken a couple of photographs and a quick little video in there to finish off the day.
So, here we are, Kings Canyon. Had to walk in. Nice little walk through this riverbed. It's quite beautiful. Let's just say motocross boots aren't made for walking. Anyway, we did it. It is amazing. Just some of those rock shelves up there just look like they've just been cut by a water jet. It's probably technically what happened in the flood, I suppose. Pretty amazing sense of volume of water. So anyway, it's just beautiful. And imagine how gorgeous this would be when it was raining and watching the water fall over these different places. It'd be phenomenal to watch. The walk out might be a bit challenging, but beautiful, just beautiful. Anyway, we'll walk back to the bike and hopefully no one stole my helmet. Flies are great though. Woo, love them. So here we are, about 120, 130 k's out of Laverton. Anyway, seeing this little ridge line. So I thought I'd go for a bit of a sticky beak off-road and see if I could get my way up onto the top of it. So we did. Here's the beautiful girl, lurking in its created location. Adventure Outback. How cool. Blowing windy today, like whoo, you get the big gusts, you get the whoo, pulls on you. Anyway, here we are, pretty much as discussed. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty cool. Tell you what, the bike is really moving around on me here. Really got to stay focused and concentrated. The wind, the corrugation, and quite often it was quite a deeper bit of that softer sand. So yep, definitely eyes forward and staying my mind on the job. Well, good morning. Sunday morning, so have a bit of a lazy start. So actually punched through yesterday. I wasn't planning to, but just sort of covered some ground. The great central inland is literally a dirt highway. So, and the graders had been through there really recently, so it was pretty smooth. So I actually ended up just sitting on 135, 140 for quite a lot. And I stopped and started and took some photographs and checked out a few little things, but still managed to do, I think it was 860 odd kilometres yesterday. So ended up all the way through to Warburton. So, but yeah, anyway, here we are in Warburton, in a little caravan park in Warburton. And I'm pretty much the only person here. There was a couple of workers stayed in a couple of the huts there that come in last night, left again this morning. Apart from that, that's about it. Yeah, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. There's not a great deal to see. It's just red dirt and pretty flat ground. Still pretty cool. It's such a surreal feeling to be literally, when you look on the map, just nothing for hundreds and hundreds of kilometres in either direction. So still keeps it real about having your wits about you, but just enjoying it. Nice slow start this morning. Servo doesn't open until 9 o'clock here, so and we're WA time, so we're 2 hours behind Queensland time. So let's wait for the servo to fire up. We're all packed up now, so we'll get dressed shortly, and then we'll get out to the servo and we'll fuel up, and we'll see if we get through to Laverton this afternoon. It's only 560 k's or something to Laverton, so I'll probably aim to get through to Laverton. Just talking to the local guy here, he said pretty much the rest of the Great Central is pretty much the same as the first part. So he said there's not a lot to see, so just cover some ground, and then we'll get over there and yeah, stay upright. And so far so good. No breakdowns, no issues. Bike's been purring away, and body's doing pretty good, but it's you know, it gets a little bit stiff in the bit locked up in the back, but it's good to be able to have a rest up this morning. Watch the Supercross. Boys did really well again. So yeah, Hunter got the overall today. That was pretty cool to watch. And yeah, so they go into next weekend with a really tight points gap. Winner takes all between Sexton, Jet and Hunter next weekend in Las Vegas. So unfortunately I'll be doing the Warhorse Muster on the Sunday, so I'm not going to be able to watch that, but hopefully Sunday night I'll ride back into Perth and drop the bike off at Glen Hannah to get shipped home, and then I'll got to get to the airport, and I've got to wait until like 11 o'clock Sunday night before I get on the flight. So hopefully I'll have a few hours to kill at the airport. It'll give me something to do. I'll watch the Supercross then. So anyway, we'll check in later on, and yeah, just loving the remoteness, loving the being on the journey on the bike. It's just awesome. Talk to you later.
The Great Central pretty much passes through the middle of Australia, heading west from Alice Springs. It's approximately about 1,100 kilometres across till you hit Laverton. There's only 3 little Aboriginal communities across the way, like these pictures of these stations where you can stop and grab some fuel. Otherwise, there is nothing and no one around. We barely even pass a vehicle. So you just wind on the throttle and just enjoy the moment. I finish up today by getting into Laverton this afternoon, and funnily enough, I almost ran out of fuel again. I got to the roundabout in town, and it was a downhill run to the servo, and it went burr 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 and ran out, and I was able to roll up to the bows this time. I didn't have to put a bladder in, so that was a bonus.
morning. Here we are. I'm about 60 k's out of Laverton. I said to BJ last night when we got off the Great Central, you get into Laverton, it's like you're back in civilization, but you're not. Backtracking through the bushes now to work my way around into Kalgoorlie, and even when you're outside of Kalgoorlie, unless you're in the town, you're still out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's very remote. So this morning we've come across this in the middle of this. So anyway, we're going to try and find our way around the edge of that. We're not going to go through the middle of that because the big girl's sitting here looking at that going, no thank you, I do not want to be covered in mud, and I don't feel like trying to dig it out of that. So we'll find a way around the edge of it, over the bushes or something like that. But anyway, still very remote, and yeah, good stuff. Check you later on.
This trip has offered up so many amazing fun roads. As a bike rider, adventurer, we just have so much to offer over here. It just excites you. It just gets me going. So this is another example of just being a really fun find. I'm enjoying the sand and getting off some of that loose pea gravel stuff that I've had a lot of. But just the countryside out here and this sandy country, it's just been an absolute blast. It's a good workout, but all the same, you just keep wanting to pull the throttle on and just get on the pegs and just have fun. So I'm also enjoying the fact with this one is I didn't have a specific route programmed into my GPS, so I'm kind of winging it a bit and trying to follow maps. And there's a lot of mines around this countryside between Laverton and Kalgoorlie and the other side of Kalgoorlie, so it's pretty much all it's good for is mining. So I'm having to navigate my way through and around different roads and that are private property for mine site leases, but it's good, and eventually we get into Kalgoorlie this afternoon. Quite interesting actually. I've been riding in this red sand and this low bush country for quite a while now, and then all of a sudden it just opens up into this area where we've got these salt lakes. So I believe this is called Lake Rebecca, but yeah, so all that white is just the salt on the water, and then bang, it's back into the red dirt again. Today is actually a bit of a shorter day. I think I only do a bit shy of 500 kilometres for the day, but most of the track that I've come across has been this red sand. So look, even though it's fun, it takes it out of you, because most of it you're standing on the pegs and you're working that bike. So, but it's all part of the adventure, it's all part of the game, and I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is what living is all about. Off to my left, I've seen this little rocky archway sticking out over another salt lake. I just couldn't resist to go over and see if I could get up onto it. This is as far as I was willing to go. It's quite loose gravel on top, and with this 270 kilo bike, I wasn't trying to push the thing backwards off that point. I could see myself falling straight over the edge and the bike, and I am way too far from home for that, but it looked like a really good photo opportunity, and it's just a really great view.
I got into Kalgoorlie yesterday afternoon, stayed at a campsite there last night, had a nice poached bacon, eggs and mushrooms this morning with a coffee, so I got a full belly. So now we're heading bush out of Kalgoorlie, and we're attempting to follow the old railway line, so follow the railway line tracks through to Southern Cross. So anyway, we'll see how that one goes. Apparently the track's accessible all the way through. So we'll do a little bit of filming along the way and hopefully enjoy the ride. We'll chat later.
Well, hi. I don't know. I think somewhere like 150 k's out of Kalgoorlie. So, you know, you thought, let's go remote. I think remote enough is going bush from Kalgoorlie around towards Southern Cross. Anyway, found this old track. It's pretty much running in the direction that I wanted to go. So I thought, why not? Feeling good, feeling lucky. So we found this track. So having a bit of fun, trekking through the bush. We're almost on our purple line. Purple line for the service track was over the other side of the railway line. Found this one on this side. This was way more interesting. Got to get up on the pegs, a couple of good washouts back there. I had GoPro video going, so I'll be able to edit that in later. Fortunately, it's this, if you can see that, fortunately it's pretty much a red sand, hard sand base, so the washouts, as I went through them, I was able to get the front wheel high and just let the rear wheel hit it. Fortunately, the front wheel got light enough I could get it over the bumper. It would have been a different story, I think. There's two of them were pretty harsh, square edged, but the rear soaked it up really nice. Surprised, didn't kick back at me, but anyway, no flat tyres, so that's a bonus. And yeah, it just keeps your wits about you, having fun. It's a little bit warmer today, so that's a bit more pleasant. I've got the heat shield off me, the weather shield, to stop that icy cold wind we've had for the last few days. But yeah, just out here, just having a go. Look at the big girl, hey? Just look at her. Just loving it. She's in a natural environment. She's just going, thank you. This is what I was made for. So, girl's loving it. Oh, she's collecting flowers. Bit of bush. Never mind. Anyway, peoples, we'll keep it safe. We'll tune in later on. I am just loving this track. This riding has just been so much fun. I know I've said it so many times before, but it's just a feeling of the soul that just comes from being so far from nowhere. Like, I'm over 5,000 kilometres from home. I'm on my own, and every day is just a new surprise of fun. You're challenging yourself, you're pushing yourself. Like, as the kilometres have gone by, I'm tired, but you just keep getting tracks like this where you just stand on the pegs, you pull on the throttle, and it's just exhilarating. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, your body's so sore, everything's sore, but yet there's just something that overwhelms you. Just go, I want more, I want to keep doing this, I want to pull that throttle on, I just want to have fun, I want to be exhilarated, and it's so filling to the soul. It's just, I don't know, it's what we're made for, just to be out there challenging yourself, and it's a constant challenge. Day in, day out, you are challenging yourself, and I love it. I just feel like I was just made for it. I'm in my happy place, I can promise you that.
So I'm almost in Southern Cross now. GoPro had gone flat, so the video's a bit shaky. I found this little sneaky little track up on top of this dune because I'd seen this lake on the other side, so ducked off the road, rode across and up onto the top. Just wanted to have a look at that dune, so had to chuck the camera on and get a bit of footage of this. Our sand, because of our dry heat, our sand's almost bottomless. It's so powdery, so camera probably doesn't do it justice, but this was a workout. It was probably only about a 3-minute ride across the top of this, but it was so chewed out that a heap of dirt bikes had been through, but I just couldn't resist. Even with all the luggage on and the big bike, the rider in me just goes, oh, I want to have a go. So anyway, we worked across there, but boy, what a workout. I was already pretty tired at the end of the day anyway, but anyway, we survived. We got to the end and we cruised on into Southern Cross and finished up for the evening, so we'll catch up with this later on.